Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, John.
So how was your week?
Oh, boy. Well, if you are watching us live on Facebook, we're live every Thursday around 11:05, I'm going to start saying. You will see that there's a Beware of Sharks logo up because this week was all about Shark Week. It was probably one of the worst Shark Weeks I've had in months, and it was terrible. Yes, start the music. One of the nice things was the only thing I was giving myself, I was making to-do lists, which I do every day, and I was putting just 3 things. I was like, if I get these done, it will be a good day, and that's it. And one of my things, I don't really put it on my to-do list, but diet-wise, I made sure to stay inside my window. That was my only thing. I was feeding myself crap. I was giving in to the fast food temptation, and then I would eat it and feel like crap and be like, I hate this. I need to stop eating this. But I just want to curl up on the couch with my heating pad, and I don't want to cook. And my husband was very nice, and he cooked for me a few times. But it was a tough Shark Week, and it made dieting very tough. And it was like I snacked all the way through my window. It was like, and I want fruit snacks now, and I want cheese sandwiches. I was going into the kids' snack basket. We have just like a basket they can pull out and grab little snacks from. Oh, I was going in there. Anything that was in there that was chocolate or carbs or cheese or salty, it was like, no, these are mine. And my son would bring me stuff from the snack basket to open, and it'd be like, well, all right, I'm opening ththese crackers for you, but I'm going to take about 5 of them.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So what? And I'm going to say, what does that feel like physically? Because I want to see if it's the same thing that I have. So when you have
my
that
period?
No.
I'll tell you what it feels like, John.
No.
Imagine someone takes a washcloth that is your uterus and twists it to get all the liquid out of it, and that's what it feels like.
All right, that's not what I was talking about, but thanks for sharing. Let me rephrase my question.
Yeah.
The urge to eat, when you have that urge that you have to just eat. I'm flustered now. You just flustered me with that.
Okay.
That urge you have, what does that physically feel like?
Physically feel like? It feels like I'm going to get kind of woo. It feels like there's an emptiness inside of me that I'm trying to fill with something, and I can't. And nothing sounds good, but I want to keep trying things until it does fill that emptiness. When I'm actually hungry, and I've heard this before, if you're hungry enough to eat an apple, then you're actually hungry. If you think you're hungry, but you don't want to eat an apple, you're not really hungry. And I knew that what I had wasn't really hunger. It was just, I need comfort. I need food right now as comfort. And yeah,
So I had a horrible week. Like a lot of stuff happened all at the same time. It just crashed. I had financial issues that came to that I didn't expect. I had work issues that I didn't expect, and just everything just came together where it really overwhelmed me to the point where I just froze. I just kind of froze, and I didn't know what to do, and I was just kind of sitting there. And for me, it feels like this thing that's like right in the center of my chest, like I guess it's an emptiness, but almost like a vibration that's in my chest that will not go away. And the only thing that will stop it is eating something that's definitely not on plan.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely worse at night. Like at night, it almost feels like I'm having heart palpitations.
Mm-hmm. Yours is in your chest. That's interesting. Mine is in the pit of my stomach.
It's like right here in the center mass of my chest. And it just goes on and on and on. And it just almost intensifies until I try to, and the only thing that really stops it is eating something. And when I say eating something, it's either fast food or something very carb loaded or something, and that'll make it go away. So the best thing about this podcast, this show that we do, this is how I prepare for the show. I go through my week, and when I wake up in the morning, I sit down and I just go back over my week, what happened, how I felt, and then I come up with what I'm going to talk about. And this week was a really, really bad week for me. So I had all that going on, all this overwhelm, and you feel like you should have got ahead of this, and so what happens is now you're overwhelmed, you're eating, and there's shame and secrecy over this whole thing.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's no reason for it because Samantha, I can go to Samantha and talk to her about anything. I can come into the group and talk about anything, but that shame, and I'm going to kind of just say the basic thing is the pride. You don't want people looking at you and going, this again with this guy, or, that whole pride thing. You just don't want everybody to know that you're over here failing. You're failing, floundering, flopping around. And it's horrible. After and if you get a hold of it, then you can talk about it. But when you're in the throes of it, it's really hard to share.
Yeah.
And I finally got things straightened out with my life. I kind of had to adjust things, how I did things. And, well, we both do the same thing. And I don't know how you are with your clients, but it seems that everybody gives me my work Thursday and they need it Monday.
Yeah.
And
Monday's
I try to get it done.
Day.
Yeah. And I try to have some time on, and I just decided, guess what? From now on, I'm just working Saturday and Sunday. And I podcast on Wednesday and Thursday. And from now, I'm just taking Wednesdays and Thursdays now are going to be my Saturdays and Sundays. They're going to be my 2 days that I'm taking off. And I don't care. I'm just going to work Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. And that's it. If there's some kind of special thing going on, well, then I'll have to, just the same way if it was a special thing was going on during the week and you were working, you make adjustments and at that point. But just that whole thing to have Saturday and Sunday off, like when everybody else does, made no sense. So once I got that done and then did some other things to straighten out financial stuff, felt like your head was above water again. And, I could get a hold of the eating. But when I'm in the throes of overwhelm and stress, there really wasn't anything that I shouldn't say there wasn't anything I could do. There just wasn't anything I was doing to stop it. I didn't reach out. I didn't do anything. I was just in a throes. It's
really hard to do that too when you're in the thick of it. Like, you need help, but you're like, those 5 minutes that I go out of my way to ask for help is going to veer me off track. So I'd rather spend the extra 2 hours with my head down doing what I need to do, treading water. And it's so hard.
See, I probably should have came in here in the group Sunday and said, holy cow, am I having problems? And all I want to do is eat. And maybe that would have saved me. I'm not 100% sure. I really don't know.
Our group is pretty great.
It is.
They are pretty great. But at the same time, I still forget sometimes that I have that support system. And we worked really hard to build this support system. And we're over here like, yeah, but we have the show. We're the hosts. We're not supposed to be asking for help. But I think that's the wrong mentality to have.
Especially for this show. Especially for this show, because we never say we know what we're doing. We never say that we have it going on. We're not the show you go to learn how to lose weight. We're the show that you go to when you're struggling. You're struggling, just so you know you're not alone.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've started doing a few weeks ago, so I've been listening to the Rise podcast. It's by Rachel Hollis, who wrote the book, Girl, Wash Your Face. It's really good. And she did, in the middle of December, she did an interview with Brendan Burchard. And he talked about taking a few minutes every day just to close your eyes and sort of do a mini meditation. You don't have to go through the whole, like, going deeper and deeper, and just focus on your breath and just saying the word release and just doing that for a few minutes every day. And, I always feel better when I do it. And I sit there and I make my intention for like the next hour, 2 hours that I'm going to be busy. But making that 5-minute stretch of time to do nothing scares me and overwhelms me, because if I have 5 minutes to sit there and meditate, well, I could be doing all this other stuff. I could be checking my email. I could be working, but I can't get that focus to do so. I open up my computer and I'm doing things that I get mad at myself afterwards. Like, oh my gosh, what happened today? I opened up Facebook to go live. No, I got distracted by the stupid notifications, that little red circle. It's like, no, I just need to be able to focus, sit down, grab a few minutes for myself. And it really does make you more productive in the long run. But we're so programmed to just keep going and keep going and keep going. It's really hard to just sit there and do nothing for 5 minutes, even though it's good for us.
Yeah. I mean, for me, when I tried to sit down and do the 5 minutes because I was freaking out, it made it worse because no matter what I tried to do. And again, I'm not really sure that I know how to meditate well. I meditate probably like a boob, but all I do is I just sit there and I just start breathing and focusing on my breathing and just trying to do that. But then I was having panic attacks. I was having panic attacks all week. And for me, what a panic attack is I get that heartbeat in my ears. I get sweaty. It's almost paralyzing. And I've had them now for 17 years. They come and go. But when things really, really get bad, I guess, and I'm not 100% sure, it's just when everything hits all at one time and when you have no answers. Like if I just say, well, I got to buckle down and I just got to work harder or do something like that, then it doesn't happen. But when you realize at that one stretch that you're not going to make it, I would think it would be, okay, when I was a kid and we used to take and put a ramp up, we used to take a wooden ramp and we'd put it on something and then we would try to jump a ditch. There'd be this one time where you would go and there's that one split second when you're in midair and you're like, I'm not going to make it. This is going to hurt. That feeling, but it was like all day.
I hate that. I can even feel it. I'm like empathizing so much. I'm feeling it in my extremities. I'm getting like the clammy hands and the tingles. I hate that feeling.
It's weird though, because unlike when you explained your period, I don't have those feelings.
That's good. You shouldn't. Right. I don't wish this pain on anybody. I know half the population goes through it.
Right.
And I also want to be like, oh, this is a tangent, but my first child, I went to a birthing class and they were talking about what contractions feel like. And the instructor goes, oh, well, your menstrual cramps. And this one girl raises her hand and goes, I don't know what those feel like. I never get them. The whole room just stared her down like, how dare you?
You bitch.
Get out. And we all wanted to be there in the delivery room with her to watch her experience these pains for the first time. That's how bitter all us pregnant women were looking at this bitch.
See what you're doing now? That's what happens every 28 days. How you like us now?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe everybody should put their Shark Week on notice to be like, look, leave me the fuck alone, especially on day 2. No peopling. No.
Peopling. Now peopling's a verb.
Yeah, no, it's not. We'll get back into focus here. My
Sorry.
camera's weird. No, that's
your camera's out of focus. I thought you meant the podcast because it's really off the tracks right now.
It's so off the tracks, but that's what see? The moon's in Gemini. We're extra chatty. We want to talk about all the things.
Yes.
But I did find a good meditation. I'm going to put the link in the chat room and I'll also put it in the show notes. This is going back to basics meditation. It's about 15 minutes. It's a lovely Australian accented guy. Listen to it on our good headphones. It's pretty good. It's for beginning meditators and people who've meditated before and kind of want to go back to, I need guided. I don't know how long it'll be until I don't need guided anymore, but I've never gotten to that stage where because my mind wanders way too much. I need somebody talking in my ear the whole time to focus on. I can't. And it's a practice. That's why it's called a practice, is because you have to practice it every day. It's a muscle that, but it is so good. And it really does help because I did this at the end of the night and I was like, oh man, I feel great. I wish I did this in the morning because now I feel great and I'm going to bed. I mean, it was a good way to end my day, but yeah.
The other thing I noticed with when I came out of the overwhelm and when I kind of got everything under control, that once I came out of overwhelm, I was physically exhausted.
Yes.
So the night that, I kind of got everything straightened out and I was talking to Sam at night, and normally I'm the one that's chatting and she's the one falling asleep. But this night I was falling asleep and she's like, what's going on? I said, I'm really exhausted. And once I hung up, I went to even go look for a podcast because I don't go to sleep unless I turn a podcast on. I fall asleep to a podcast every night. So I went to look for a podcast. I said, you know what? I don't even feel like it. I just turned the light off and then boom, I don't remember anything until the next morning. I mean, I slept 8 straight hours. No,
You finally slept through the night.
yeah, no waking up to pee, no waking up to do any of that. I slept through. Now, when I woke up, I was like, whoo, it's time to go. But yeah, so I knew that it was the mental stress really turned into physical stress. And I really haven't had a week like that in a long, long time. So
Either. There's something going on.
well, with me, I just had a bunch of unexpected issues happen all at once. I'm not 100% out of it yet as far as the overwhelm. I'm still trying to dig out. And, I might lose a client or two over this. But, hey, it happens. What are you going to do?
You have to do what you got to do. And some days you just have to do the absolute basic. And I mean, usually my to-do list, like if I hold up a pad, my to-do list would take up maybe about 2/3 of the piece of paper. And I make sure to leave like extra at the bottom to be like, there are going to be things that pop up, like emptying the dishwasher, which I'm not going to think to do until I'm just like, oh, I need more bottles. Let me go empty the dishwasher and get them. But this past week, and even a few days before that, it was like here. And if I just finished those, if for the audio listeners, it was maybe 1/3 of the piece of paper was filled up. And one of those lines was brush teeth, because sometimes I don't remember to do it at night. So I have to make sure to have like the 2 on there. And if I remembered to brush my teeth at night, it was a good day. I was like, okay, great. I brushed my teeth twice today and we're done. We are done.
2 straight days, I edited podcasts from 8 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was 8 till 2, sleep 6, 8 till 2. And when I mean editing, I mean, if I stopped bathroom breaks and to grab something to eat and drink and still was editing while I was eating and drinking.
So I think for both of us, for the next week, can we make a goal to just take some time to slow down for ourselves? I feel like we both kind of need that, like a daily.
Yes. Because what I did was, like I said, when I switched my time from what I'm like Wednesdays and Thursdays are my time, that was it. I didn't answer emails. I was really off of social media. I worked on my podcast, but that for me is fun. That's my entertainment. That's kind of my relaxation.
Yeah, my days off are Thursdays and Fridays. That's when I work on my podcast. Yeah.
Right. So
and then this is fun for me.
Exactly.
Like,
this is fun.
This isn't work.
Well,
for
this
me.
is fun. It's fun in therapy. Fun.
Yeah.
Just made up a new word.
Fun.
I just shipped fun in therapy. Do you know what shipping is?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't sure because it took me a long time to figure that out. I also I don't know what's that word that they always use?
It took me a while to figure out shipping too, because I was like, okay, so am I shipping Pam and Jim? And they're like, well, kind of. And I was like, then I don't get it. Like there's another level to it, but
Canon. I don't know what canon is when people say canon. That's canon.
Okay.
I have no idea what that is.
So the Star Wars movies, that's where I hear it the most. Star Wars movies are considered the canon. That's what people go off of. That's George Lucas right there. There were books that people wrote outside of the movies that are no longer considered canon because the events that happen in the books aren't the same timeline as what happened in the movie.
Oh, George made another movie and screwed up their book.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it canon?
That's what happened with.
We might as well call it cheesesteak. Oh, well, that's cheesesteak, and that's not
Exactly.
It has the word means nothing. It doesn't describe what's going on. It's a horrible word. Okay. Now I'm not even upset that I didn't know what it was for all that time.
Yeah.
But thank you for explaining it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this week I wasn't canon. I think.
You. I like it.
All right.
Yeah, that's true. Our week was just off. So yeah.
So the other thing, and again, it's just me when I say this, ladies and gentlemen, it's just me. So what I would do is I would come into the Hate the Weight Club and I would see everybody was doing well. And I was like, okay, well, they're doing well. So let's go and see if I can get back on track. So when Winning Wednesdays came up or Sunday Goalposts came up, I was like, what could I put in there? But I'm glad that everybody is doing well in this group. And, we're 3 members away from 150 members.
I love that you're so into counting the members. I don't even notice it because you're usually on Facebook before I do. So I don't notice as many people asking to join as you probably do.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of them didn't answer the question. And I was like, I don't care. We're so close to 150. I'm bringing them in.
John.
I did.
Well, now, okay. Whoever didn't answer the question, we have our eye on you.
That's right. I'll bounce you. All right. What do you say we get to some Winning Wednesdays?
Yes. Winning Wednesdays. Oh, I was waiting for theme music. It's my fault. I have to do theme music.
Until Emily gets to the theme, this is what we play.
Okay. Even though they're Winning Wednesdays.
Right.
Like, Winning Wednesday,
Well, okay. See, I wouldn't even really push this. But this is your fault. And I'll tell you why.
I know.
But no. This is why. Because then Dave plays that IOPR40. And I'm like, I want that, but I want it to say Winning Wednesdays. And I can't do that.
I'll get it. I'll do it. Once I get out of this funk.
Okay.
Because we're at the tail end of Funky Town. That's what I'm going to call it. All right, Winning Wednesdays. Brittany, I'm down a pound from last week and 2/3 of the way to my weekly exercise goal. That's fantastic. Doo-doo. Also, what's cool about groups on Facebook is you can see people have little icons next to their names. So Brittany has a rising star icon, meaning she's commenting on more things, which I really like. There's also a coffee icon if people are starting conversations, which I have a feeling Elaine is going to get pretty soon because she does the weekly weigh-in posts, which thank you, Elaine, for doing those.
How about that? I did not know that. I see it now, but I didn't know what it was. I thought she just put that. I thought she put that in her name, like the icon in her name. You know how like you can put like a smiley face sometimes?
No, if you get a little star, it means you're participating more in the group. You get a star.
Okay. Erica says, down 3 pounds and making my gym goals. Bonus, moving furniture a bunch this weekend. Boost to the weight lifting goals.
Yeah, that's awesome. Elaine is in Wonderland, baby, and she's actually stayed there for more than a day, so woohoo! Oh, Wonderland, I see you. I see you in the distance. I'm getting there.
I'm looking for 3derland.
3derland.
To be honest with you. Deborah says, my shoes are looser.
Yes.
Eventually, you lose weight in your feet. I had to Google that.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Well, I have a problem with my feet swelling.
Yeah.
I think that once you do that, once you start losing weight, your body, I guess it starts to release fluid or whatever, and your feet you're not as puffy.
Yeah. I had to throw out some shoes because they were stretched out for my gigantic pregnant Cabbage Patch Kid feet, which is what they look like when they get swelled up when you're pregnant. They look like the Cabbage Patch Kid feet. Yeah. Deborah also said she hit this as of last night, 100 miles in 2019. So that's a step count for her. So great job.
Whoa, wait a minute. It's the what? She worked 100 miles? Or no,
100 miles. You've reached the mile 100 milestone.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's worked. Okay. I just thought she did 100 miles since it, started 2019. I was going to be, she was like 5.
Oh, that's what it looks like.
100 miles? You walked 100 miles in 17 days? What's today's date?
17 days. Oh my God, I can't do podcast math at all. Okay, that's like about
1.7
7
miles?
or 8 miles a day.
No.
I could be wrong.
That's no.
Hey, Google. What's 100 divided by 17? 5.882.
So she's walked 5.882 miles a day?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Stop it, Google. Shh. Shush. Not today, Google.
Not today.
That's just been my mantra all week. It's like, not today.
We must. Well, I'll tell you what. I live alone, so it's not that bad for me, but you must have been a peach to be around this week.
Honestly, this is the first time I've actually put on decent clothes. My husband got me pajamas last week. I just lived in them this week. Yeah. Other Deborah, because we have 2 Deborahs in the group, is down 0.5 pound. Also, her cousin and her started a Facebook group for our women family members to lose weight. There's only 9 of us, but we're optimistic and supportive of each other. That is so great.
Hey, Deborah, you can bring them over here. It'll put us over the 150. Just saying. No, but I understand. If you want to bring them over, bring them over. Annette says, up my daily steppage to 12,000, and I can see the difference. My knees are looser, and the dog's legs are shorter. And the scale is moving in the right direction. Always a bonus.
See, 1,200 steps a day. That's about 5-ish miles.
That's
more than that.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. Brendan is back into the routine of going to the gym each day. Yay!
And Julianne says, back in the gym.
Nice.
All right, so I have one too. That since I have the step counter on my phone, I've made my step goal of over 1,000. These guys are doing 12,000. Over 1,000 steps. And 2 days this week, I hit 2,000 steps for me, which is unbelievable. So I have been moving more. So that's good too.
Good. Yeah, this week was not a moving week for me at all. And because I don't carry my phone around all the time, I stopped looking at my step count on there because I know it's inaccurate, especially when I do my 5-minute pickup at the end of the night and I'm running around like a crazy person. And of course, my phone is just on the couch sitting there. And I'm like, these steps don't even count, even though I'm sweating by the end of it because I'm just trying to get everything done in 5 minutes.
See, I won't wear a shirt that doesn't have a pocket in the thing. So I always have my phone on me. So when I'm...
Yeah, well, as phones get bigger, women's pockets don't. So
That is true.
I am getting a smartwatch pretty soon. Probably for my birthday, I'll get a smartwatch to go with my Pixel that'll have a step counter on it. But we'll see how often I remember to charge it and put it back on my wrist. Okay,
so I have to talk to you after the show. I want to talk to you about, well, maybe we should talk about it. Right. So what is a smartwatch that goes with an Android phone? I know there's an Apple Watch.
Yeah. Google was supposed to make one, but I guess that's been delayed. So we're looking at the TicWatch, TicWatch. I think it's the C2 is what we're looking at, which just came out.
What does that run price-wise? What's
200.
200? Mm-hmm. 2 C notes. I figured you could handle that.
TicWatches are pretty cheap. There's a TicWatch E that's like $130.
What other little functions does it have besides counting? Does it do your sleep? Does it do your all that stuff?
Yep, it does all the things. I will probably use it more to just notify me when people text me or send me messages. Not my email. Oh, God, no. I hate... I got to inbox 0 last night, and that was just my accomplishment, and I was dancing around at the end of that when I got through all my email. No. But it also... it's very customizable. Oh, you could pay from your wrist. So if you have Google Pay set up, you could just click it to things, which I'll probably never set up, but my husband will because he's a tech geek. But yeah, this is the one that we're looking at to get.
That would scare me because it could go off when you're somewhere. Like if you went past something or somebody could steal it. I don't know. Again, I don't know enough to know enough. You're right. But that sounds like a good idea. So it is Google's answer to the Apple Watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not through Google, but it works with Google. It's especially useful with Google. It has Google Assistant on it, which is nice because then I will totally feel like I'm in Get Smart and I can just ask my watch questions and it'll give me answers.
Wait a minute. Get Smart talked to the watch, or didn't he talk to his shoe? Oh, his phone.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Inspector Gadget because it was the same voice actor.
I remember Get Smart. He had the phone in the shoe. He'd take his shoe off and dial.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you know what that means.
All right.
Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
So it's an even week, which means I go first. And
By all means, John.
I have a feeling this is, we might have slipped a little. Oh, I know I did. I'm up 2 pounds.
Okay.
But the thing about it is I felt like this was a win because the amount of damage I did calorically, I think the steps kind of saved me because this could have been almost a double-digit gain. I mean, I hit all the fast food. I hit the KFC. I hit the Taco Bell. I hit the Burger King. I hit the McDonald's. And I'm not proud of saying any of this at all, but that's what happened. This week, there's shame in my game. I will do better. I probably could have done better. I just lost my shit. This week I lost my shit.
Yeah, we both lost our shit this week. Yeah, I'm up 1 pound, which actually surprises me that it's not more, but I know that this is actually my trend for Shark Week as long as I stay in my window. I gain 1 pound and then I lose it the next week. It's happened the past 3 months. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, my window was like a sliding glass door. It really... Everything went out the window. That was as of, let's see, when did I try to get this? I think my first day back in plan was yesterday. Remember, I'm the one that always says you can't dabble in keto.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm just going to try to do what you do and maybe just don't worry about eating carbs or things like that. Maybe have a slice or two of bread. I think I'll stay away from pasta, but I'm going to adjust, maybe have an apple or two.
Yeah, and that was the thing for me this week that I know contributed to that pound of weight gain was usually with intermittent fasting, when you're first starting and you're getting used to it and you're getting used to having a window to eat, they say you're going to eat a lot during your window. And I remember in the beginning eating basically that whole 8 hours because I was so afraid of being hungry. And then you kind of taper off and you learn your body signals better. And this week, it was like I was beginning to intermittent fast again, and I just kept snacking. I could not stop snacking. And usually I have a meal to open up my window. I'll maybe have a snack, and it's usually something small, and I'm making good choices because I want that kind of food. But this week was just no. I want all the crap. It's almost like I wanted to make myself fat and miserable to look on the outside like I felt on the inside, and it was just
wow. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah,
that I never thought of before. The one thing, since we're 38 weeks into this podcast, I am off the tapioca pudding. I have not had any of that, or I have had some ice cream, but like if it was an ice cream sandwich or something like that, it wasn't like when I sat down and would eat a container of ice cream or eat it until it was gone. But the one thing I did go to, we have the Wawas around here, and the one thing that Wawas have that are amazing is their macaroni and cheese. And there was at one point where I was like, I need macaroni and cheese. I just need it. And I went in and I got not the large, I got the family size and tore through that. And when Samantha was here, because I know she likes macaroni and cheese too, I got the macaroni and cheese. I said, what do you think of this? And she's like, ooh, this is good. This is really good. So yeah, it's really good macaroni and cheese. It's Canadian approved.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
They know poutine, so I'll trust them with macaroni and cheese.
Good. I don't know why that don't catch on here. It's really good.
Because Americans are just like, we have everything else. Do we need one more thing?
Yes. Why not?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Why don't we? Why don't we? It's French fries with gravy with cheese curds on it. It's not hard, but why don't we have that? It's ridiculous.
I don't know. All the battles we have to fight this week. Now we're fighting for poutine.
Now we screw the wall. We want poutine.
We want poutine.
All right, everyone. If you want to join in on this fun cast,
We're normally not this negative.
no,
This is just
it was just a bad
week.
really, really bad week. And normally
Yeah.
it's more positive. The people in the group are doing great.
I know everyone else is doing wonderfully. Great job, everyone in the group. We love having you. We love that 8 people are watching us live. That's fantastic. Thank you to We're sorry if we brought you down. We hope not. We hope we at least made you laugh a little bit.
Again, I would say that you realize that when you're having a bad day, everybody has a bad day. And the thing about it is you just don't quit. You just fight, keep fighting until you can get back on the wagon and just keep going. And like my father used to always say, don't do as I do, do as I say. So, no, the people in the group have really motivated me to just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I think what happens in our society that if you're not always succeeding, you're failing. And if you're still succeeding if you don't quit. You cannot fail if you don't quit. We
have to get rid of that mindset that if we're not succeeding. And we have the history to prove that these setbacks are just that. They're setbacks for 1 week at the most. The last time you and I gained weight,
both of us
gained weight. The next week we lost it. We lost both of that. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're putting so much pressure on ourselves right now just because we gained collectively 3 pounds. But we know that we've lost 3 pounds in a week as well. Both of us. You've lost more than 3 pounds in a week plenty of times.
Yeah. And the other thing is, too, that just like, so there are other times where I've had gains. I would be like, I don't want to do a podcast. But this time I was like, okay, you have gained weight. And now is the time you have to do what you said you were going to do, which is talk about it. So other people hear what's going on. It's not about this really. I got to be honest with you. This really isn't about me. The reason that I shouldn't say that. 90% of this is so other people are listening and then can learn from my dumb mistakes. Like I said, if I would have listened, if 50-year-old John would have listened to me, I think I would have been in a lot better shape than when I am now. And it's hard. It's like I said, it's hard to fight back. So if any of this, if you can take my mistakes, my shortcomings and stuff that I've done wrong, and if you could take a look at that and turn yourself around, then this is all worth it. But today, I really didn't have a problem coming in here and talking about it. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I'm desperate to get back on track and get some mobility back and get some of my life back. So that's what we do this for. And we would love it if you join us. Go over to hatetheweight.com/Facebook and join us. And we're always here hanging out, funny memes, all the good stuff. Emily, next week we'll lose this weight and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.